Mumonkan, case 29, not the wind, not the flag. The wind was flapping a temple flag. Two monks were arguing about it. One said the flag was moving. The other said the wind was moving. Arguing back and forth, they could not come to an agreement. The sixth patriarch Enno said, "It is neither the wind nor the flag that is moving. It is your mind that is moving." The two monks were struck with awe. Mumon's commentary. In truth, it is neither the wind, nor the flag, nor the mind that is moving. How shall we understand Enno's error? If you understand this matter deeply, you'll see that the two monks got gold while intending to buy iron. Also, you will know that Enno could not repress his compassion and made, in fact, an awkward scene. Verse: the wind moves, the flag moves, the mind moves. All three of them were wrong. If Enno opened his mouth, it was out of compassion, indifferent about his fault while talking. As usual, there are several interpretations of this koan that are possible. Some of these interpretations even would claim that there is no verbal response or elaboration that will be ever satisfying. However, the approach we follow in these videos are based on Advaita, where some explanations are allowed. However, those explanations or elaborations have then to end up pointing at the silence of what we really are. I will therefore in this case use a well-known metaphor used in the Advaita tradition, which is the movie and the screen. And I will use this metaphor to go deeper into this koan. But before we get started, I would like to give you two definitions so that we're talking about the same things. The first definition is what is meant by mind. And the way we are going to use mind is for the collection of thoughts and feelings. So in our definition of mind, the thoughts and feelings, they are still perceived. The second term that we're going to use is consciousness or awareness. And in this case, it is that which ultimately perceives. In Zen tradition, this is often referred to as Buddha nature or true nature. The koan can be said to contain 4 different levels. Let us start with level 1. The one monk says it's the flag that is moving. And when you identify with the flag, to take then the example of our metaphor with the movie and the screen, you identify with the hero in the movie. Okay? And you identify, in fact, with this thing here, this body-mind. I am a man, I am a woman, I have this or that nationality, I'm born there and there, I have brown, blue or gray eyes, I have blonde, brown or black hair, or I have no hair, like in my case, I'm thick, I'm thin, I am a stubborn person, or I'm a flexible person. I can be very angry at times, and no, I'm usually very gentle. I'm an intellectual. I'm artistic. I have such and such a job. I have such and such a hobby. I do such and such sports, etc., etc., etc. That is this thing here, and that is what I mean when I speak about the hero of the movie. The hero of the movie from cradle to grave. And the first monk, speaking about the flag moves, identifies very much with that kind of level. He identifies with this body mind. Let us now focus on the second monk. The second monk sees more the cause and effect. The wind is what makes the flag move. And in this case, we no longer identify so much with the hero in the movie, but we identify more with the elements that makes the images of the movie move. For example, my wife gives me a hard time, or my husband gives me a hard time if you're a woman, or my husband or wife makes me happy. So this is like the wind is flapping this flag, yeah? Or my child makes me proud, or my child makes me ashamed, to give another example. Or my job makes me stressed, or my job makes me glad. Or the pollution in the city makes me sick or makes me feel anxious. So at this level of understanding, we identify more with what surrounds us in the movie. Our family, our friends, the society, and that is what makes what I am. So the two monks were arguing. One said, I am the flag, and the other said, no, it's the wind that makes this flag move. And so this is explaining a little bit what these two monks were really arguing about in this metaphor. Now comes the third level. And then we have our sixth patriarch coming into the picture, called Eno. And he's hearing this conversation by these two monks, and he said, oh my God, you guys, come on, it's not the flag that moves. It's not the wind that makes the flag move. It's your mind that is flapping. It's your mind that is moving. In this level, we are now identifying more not with the movie itself, but more with the screen on which the movie is playing, on which the images are moving on. So the mind here then signifies the movie, while consciousness then stands for the screen. And in this case, you are not the body, but you are that which perceives the body. You are not the thoughts, but you are that which perceives the thoughts. You are not your feelings, but that which perceives the feelings. You are not this personality, you are that which perceives this personality. You're not the five sense perceptions, you are that which perceives them. You are not life events which happens to you, you are that which witnesses them. And at this level, we see ourselves in a way as the still background, the screen, and what moves is then just the movie, the mind, and that is what Eno, the sixth patriarch, says to the two monks. What moves is your minds. It's the movie on the screen. However, notice that there is still dualism here. The moving mind, that's one level, and the still screen, the still background, which is what you are, and there's still two. And then we come to the fourth level in this koan, because in Mumon's comment, he contradicts Eno, and he said, it's neither the flag, nor the wind, nor the mind that are moving. Having read a little bit about this, it's apparently not Mumon who came up with this thought. He actually borrowed these words based on a story of a nun who lived in a detached temple belonging to Koans monastery. And some traveling monks who wanted actually to visit Koans stopped at that temple to spend the night at the nun's temple. During the evening's conversation, they discussed the story about the flag and Eno's statement that it was the mind moving. However, the nun shook her head and said, "Gosh, you guys, you don't really understand Zen at all, because what Eno really meant is your minds are moving, so look at that never moves." When the monks heard her statement and felt her deep understanding when she said that, they were struck by the nun's wisdom. So let's go a little bit deeper into this. For you, the viewer, to understand this experientially, you have to go beyond the level of screen background here and the dancing movie images there. You need to walk up closely to the screen and touch it with your finger and try to peel off the dancing images from the screen. Can you do this? Of course not. You cannot peel off the images from the screen because those moving images are screen. They are just like modulations and colors on the screen, and there is then no real movement if you look closely enough. So you are this screen, yet it is a three-dimensional screen in which, for example, the room in which you're sitting right now appears. And take a look at this room in which you sit. Its colors and its furniture appears in your aware space. But these colors of your room, can they peeled off from the aware space which you are and which sees the room? No. So ask yourself that question. Where does your aware space, which you are, stop and your living room starts? You cannot find any boundary there. It's all interwoven. Your room is intermingled within your presence. The colors are, in fact, as I mentioned before, just modulations in your aware space, which does not move. So our reality is really stillness, in which dancing images are floating by. Unfortunately, since our childhood, we are learning that this reality, this aware space, this thing that never moves, that doesn't really exist. Our parents, our teachers, our friends all point at the fact that what we are is not that aware space, that what we are these floating images on the screen, and we end up believing this. The pressure from the outside to believe this story is really immense. It's like an upside down view which causes all misery and suffering. And in order to please our parents, our teachers, and our friends, we end up accepting to be turned inside out. We lose our reality, we lose our ground, and take the movie as real. This is how paradise is lost. We take our moving body minds as real. And as the body is not eternal and ends up dying, we start fearing death. And we start spending tons of energy in keeping this thing young, beautiful, accepted by others, etc. It may not be so easy to capture this. When you walk, for example, in the street tomorrow, I suggest you do this little exercise. First, you remember the first monk. Is the flag moving? He says the flag is moving. So you feel your body is walking in the street. Second, you try to remember the second monk who said it's the wind that is moving. And in this case, you start feeling as if the street is moving through your body. Then you remember Eno, who comes along and said, it's your mind moving. In this case, you walk again in the street, but this time you feel the street passes through your consciousness, through your awareness. And then fourthly, nothing is moving. You deeply feel your sense of reality in which everything is perceived, and you get a feeling that it's actually nothing that is moving. As said, this exercise may not be so easy, but please try it out if you have a moment. You're always welcome to comment in case of any questions, and I wish you a great day. Thank you for listening.